Lissy!
I'm up at the church.
How about we don't go back to Hanover and stay here instead?
And how would I survive?
Hunt? Harvest? Forage? People have survived here for...
Applesauce.
Why lock any doors? I can't imagine they have a problem with punks and hoodlums.
Fretland and Son.
How do you figure?
It's on the sign above the entrance. And on this photograph. Frederick and Simon Fretland. They had a memorial service for the accident in the mine. On July 24th.
A boat! Teddy! A hot dog! This is our ticket out of here!
Not without Betty.
What's this?
Remnants of the mining operation.
What, mine?
There was a mine here, but it closed down 20 years ago.
I was just checking for a sense of humor. Still nowhere to be found. What did they use this for?
Bringing the...
Where do these tracks lead?
To the mine. Where else would they go?
I don't know. A castle up in the mountains, where the frost giants live. And this is how they receive their monthly offering of meat from the villagers. Goat, I hope. What if everyone turned into a pebble? And they can't speak, but they see and feel everything that happens to them.
There's something very wrong. No trespassing for traitors.
Cool. Want to jump the gate and explore what's on the other side? What do you...
The sign says no trespassing for a reason.
Come on! There may be trolls, or at least more houses. Where's your sense of adventure, old sport? Don't you want to see where these tracks go?
I've had enough adventure on this side of the fence. Besides, they wrote no trespassing for a reason.
You're such a terrible bore, Teddy Bear. I'll wager 1,000 clams you'll jump this gate at some point, if you believe Betty's on the other side.
Frederick Fretland. Who are these traitors he refers to? Betty would have taken plenty of constitutionals here. She loves the outdoors.
How so? She's a city girl.
I'm sure she gets tired of Manhattan.
Where do these tracks lead?
To the mine. Where else would they go?
I don't know. A castle up in the mountain?
Where are you?
I'm by the tracks! I don't understand why they just leave this here. Like an altar to adversity. It's creepy.
Rustic superstition. There's no damage to the rope.
I don't know what that means.
Nobody cut it. I guess the knot could have unraveled on its own.
Didn't you say you used a sailor's knot?
I'm a scholar, not a fisherman.
So who took our boat? A ghost?
There must be a logical explanation. It's safe to say no ghost in the night stole our boat.
If you say so. But then who were you chasing after last night? A shadow?
I don't know. It was probably all in my head.
What now? We've looked everywhere.
There really doesn't seem to be anyone around.
Maybe we missed something. An important clue. How about the general store? We haven't been inside yet.
It looked deserted, but worth another look, I guess.
Frederick Fretland and son.
Johann's brother and nephew.
The Fretlands.
Is that? Lizzie, come here. It's Betty's hat. She was here. She could still be in there. Betty? Betty!
Are you sure, Edward? I mean, it's just a hat. Is it even a hat?
I
I'm not
know
sure
my sister's hat, Lizzie. I have to get inside.
What about the breaking and entering part?
I could care less what they call it. Here's an open window.
You seem eager to break the law. I approve.
It won't budge.
Don't be a milquetoast.
Well, it's stuck.
Attaboy, Teddy. You can do this.
I can't believe I'm actually breaking... Whoops, Daisy.
Oh my, Teddy. You're such a sap.
Edward Charles Harding.
Tanty, world traveler. Jeez, the state of this place.
Oh, Betty.
Edward,
I hope you weren't here when...
is this blood?
Not necessarily human blood.
Well, that's all right then. What does it say? Barn murder? Someone murdered a barn?
Barn means child, and mortar, that's...
Child murder. Edward, they murdered a child?
Someone thought so.
Probably the same someone who vandalized the store.
I'm not sure how I feel about being in here.
Don't be ridiculous. We're all alone. What else do you suggest we do?
Damnation. The hat's in here.
Calm down, old boy. Anyway, how's a hat going to help us?
Who knows what else is in here? There could be more clues.
All right. Okay. Everything's Jake. We made it into the store. I'm sure we'll find a way through that door. What are you doing?
Looking for keys.
Your life of crime?
The keys are all gone.
Some thieving thieves beat you to it. Rascals.
Out of order.
Why hasn't it been fixed?
Perhaps these were never sent.
How long have they been piling up?
I received Mrs. Fretland's letter in June.
A couple of months. Perhaps the world forgot about Grovik. S-O-S.
Out of order.
Why hasn't it been fixed?
Perhaps there wasn't much demand for it anymore. Why would Frederick keep a list of what he calls traitors?
What did they do to him?
Cross him in some way. Why else keep a list of undesirables? There's a note.
Is it written in Viking runes? What does it say?
It's from Simon. Yai put it means I put. Knuckle is key. Casa. I don't know what that word means.
He put the key in the casa?
Casa. I wish I had my dictionary. The note's addressed to his father.
So the key was moved. But where to?
Somewhere safer. Or more convenient.
Can we really trust your translations? You only started studying a month ago.
I spent the summer reading, and I had a lot of free time on the ocean voyage.
Come on, how much could you...
Casa.
So that's what it means. Cash register. You're a genuine gangster now, old fruit. Don't worry. If you get busted, I'll come visit you in the big house. The Vandals weren't here for the money.
I think money was the last thing on their minds.
Wasn't there supposed to be a key?
Here it is. It is her hat.
Teddy, I'm not
Betty
sure
was
that's...
here, and not long ago.
Okay, but if that is her hat, what's it doing in a locked storeroom?
Another breadcrumb.
That's not an answer.
I know for sure she was here. That's what matters.
You know best, Edward. So, what now? If this is a breadcrumb, where's the next one?
There must be a reason her hat's in this room.
What's that?
A handwritten note.
I'm not blind. What does it say, you silly goose?
It's hard to read. I'm not sure my translation will be... Johann, you... Nectar. Refuse. You refuse to speak to me, so I write this letter instead. It's from Frederick Fretland to his brother. Simon did not... Bloody hell. Simon did not murder your Ruth. He was fond of his cousin.
Ruth. Ruth is the daughter of Anna and Johann, which means the little girl in the photograph at the farmhouse. Oh, Edward. The Fretland girl was murdered. This is simply awful.
Simon was working at the farm while I tended to the store. I would have seen him had he passed on the way up to the cliffs.
They thought Simon killed Ruth. His own cousin.
Ruth was... what's that word? Playing. Ruth was always playing on the rocks below the church. She must have fallen by accident. The note ends there. Frederick never finished it. And Johann never read it. Not that it would have made a difference. If Johann
The
thought...
mob showed up for Simon. His father would have tried to protect him.
September 17th. You would have been here, Betty.
Rocks below the church. Isn't the church right above us? Edward, come look at this. That's the cliff. Right there. The one in the note? I bet you 1,000,000 clams.
Where?
See for yourself.
I guess that could be where...
Let's check it out.
No, Lissy, wait.
This way. I found it, Teddy. The cliff. I'm standing right below it.
What are you doing? This doesn't concern
A
us.
little girl died.
We're staying in her home, for God's sake. Are you completely without heart? Get yourself up here, Edward Harden, right this minute. Come on, it's an easy climb.
This looks very dangerous.
Oh, you're a big boy. Start acting like it. It's not Mount F.
Whoops-a-daisy. What is this?
Where little Ruth died.
You're being morbid. And this is a distraction. I'm here for Betty, not because some girl
Edward.
got herself...
You insensitive brute. You're like the Tin Woodman, no heart. Please look at me when I'm talking to you. All right. You know, you've grown cold and mean in that horrid study of yours. Please look at me when I'm talking to you. Anyway, you know, you've grown cold and mean in that please look at me when I'm talking to you. You know, you've grown cold. Please look at me when I'm talking to you. As I was saying, you know, you've grown cold and mean in that horrid study of yours, with only books and bugs to keep you company for years and years and years. There are other people in this world, you know. It's not all about you. You're going to do this. If not for Ruth, then for us. We're going to figure out what happened to the poor girl. Together.
Something struck this bush. She must have landed on it when... on her way down.
That's ghastly, Edward. going? Teddy, where are you going?
That's been here a while.
Didn't you say it happened over a month ago?
You'd think her family would have replaced it with fresh flowers.
Is that blood?
The girl could have hit her head on that rock. There would have been plenty of blood.
That's awful. I think there's something behind it. Can you move the rock aside? It must be Ruth's.
Where's the head?
Maybe the killer also decapitates dolls.
Hold on. This pin. This is old. Very old. Looks like something from the Viking era.
We are in the land of Vikings.
This could be 1,000 years old. It does not belong on a child's doll.
Who cares? Ruth is dead and you're obsessing about a rusty old pin? Let's go further up. Maybe we'll find more clues. Come on, old sport. It's not far.
Can you wait just 1 minute so that I can catch my breath? Huh? Did you follow the same path, Betty? Or am I just stumbling through darkness?
You can see clear beyond the edge of the world.
One
Oh,
second.
Teddy bear. We need to take you out walking more often.
So, the girl fell from up here.
Was pushed, you mean? Can you see where she fell? Seeing as you're so concerned about me falling out of trees, I wouldn't want to risk falling off a cliff.
If she fell headfirst on that rock, she'd have died instantly.
Edward, honestly.
You wanted to learn more. This is you learning more. She hit her head and fell into the bush where I found her doll. Happy now, Alice?
I'm not. What was she doing up here in the first place?
Playing? She was a child. Children play in dangerous places.
There must be more to it. Let's find out where this path leads.
No, absolutely not. I don't have time for this nonsense. We're running out of daylight, and Betty's still... You're still out there. Lissy, slow down. I can't keep up with you. Who knows what's up there? It's not worth the risk of falling and breaking something. Lissy? Are you there?
Teddy,
My word. Look away, Lissy.
is this what happened to the villagers? They killed themselves?
It's one body. Let's not jump to conclusions.
What about those fresh graves at the church? There were at least half a dozen of them. Did everyone just die?
They're not necessarily
Oh,
connected.
come on. What does that say?
God forgive me.
Don't suicides go to hell? Isn't that what your father said when
Stop.
your mother
Don't.
drowned herself? Sorry. Do you think this has something to do with Ruth? Maybe she came across the hanged man before she died, and it scared her. So she ran, and
This happened later.
there's some consolation in that, I guess. Maybe it's the killer. The guilt ate him up, and he offed himself.
That's just speculation with no basis in fact.
Who was he? One of the Fretlanders?
It's not Johann or Frederick. And he's too old to be Simon. There's nothing more to do here. I'm going back. Let the poor soul rest in peace.
Does it look like he's resting in peace? You're just going to leave him hanging? You're an insensitive brute.
I'm here for Betty. It's tragic, but really none of my concern.
Betty, always just Betty. You don't care about anyone else. What if that was me up there? Would you care then? All you do Look at me when I'm talking to you. All you do is obsess over a scarf and a hat and ugh.
It's all I have of Betty.
Betty, there she is again. Edward, the hanged man, he's someone. No matter what he did or didn't do, he deserves respect. Would you please just do this one decent deed? If not for me, then for yourself. Or for your Betty. What are you doing? You can't just pull him down by his legs. Try loosening the noose.
I can't reach that far. I'm going to be sick. I can't do this.
Yes, you can. Teddy. Edward. I know you can. You've been through much worse. Where are the Fretlands, Edward?
It's been 2 days. If they're not back tonight...
They're not coming back.
Perhaps they left after their daughter died.
Was murdered, you mean? Isn't that what we think happened?
Perhaps she fell by accident.
So you don't think it was murder?
It's difficult to say with any certainty. The boy could have pushed her.
You're really not helping.
Can we talk about this tomorrow? I'm sorry.
You're exhausted.
I buried a corpse today, Alice.
I know. I'm sorry. Why don't you sleep in the guest bedroom?
The couch is fine. The Fretlands could still come home.
All right. Just don't come crying to me if you wake up with a crick in your neck. I'll be up for a while, if you feel like talking. What are you doing?
Betty will want these back.
I don't think it's healthy
Not now,
to...
please. I'm exhausted.
Quite the day, huh?